The year 1999 was a good one. It was the year that Pagani unveiled its 6-litre V12 bespoke hypercar, the Zonda, and also the year that Richard Mille announced its foray into the watch world with its self-titled racing machine for the wrist. We have one of those machines today, the RM028 Diver, and we're going to take a closer look at it. So who or what is Richard Mille? The company was founded in 1999 by a marketeer who's been in the watch industry since 1974. He decided that he wanted to create a high-end, racing-inspired watch, and he enlisted the help of Audemars Piguet's high-end movement facility, Renoir Papy. Richard Mille's first watch, the RM001 Tourbillon, presented a distinct tonneau case that lay the foundation for the rest of the range. The brand has gone on to have a very close connection with Formula One motorsport, and are currently in partnership with the McLaren Honda F1 team. But it's more than superficial style. Richard Mille has particularly invested in the use of high-end exotic materials, such as NTPT carbon, which are layers of carbon fibre cut to have a crystalline layered appearance. Carbon nanotubes, which are injection moulded at 2000 degrees Celsius and are stronger and lighter than traditional carbon fibre. And there's ceramic made of a zirconium alloyed with an exotic yttrium. And there's also materials like magnesium, titanium, gold, aluminium, other exotic materials that you often see with other watch manufacturers. And the designs themselves are also pretty impressive. There's the RM035, which was made for tennis player Rafael Nadal, which weighs under 20 grams including the strap, and the RM006 Tourbillon. Tourbillons are known for their delicacy, but this one survived a crash on F1 driver Felipe Massa's wrist in the 2014 Canadian Grand Prix. This is an unusual looking watch for Richard Mille. Usually they have the tonneau case that we've all come to recognise, but this one is round, obviously. That's because this is a diving watch, and it's the second that Richard Mille has produced following the RM025. It's a very busy watch, as you can see, but somehow it's still readable. The bold numbers, the big hands, the clear bezel stand out even amongst all that busy detail. There's 300 metres of water resistance, and the whole design meets the ISO 6425 diving watch standard. But clearly this is a watch more than just for diving, this is a watch for wearing and enjoying. The detail is here for the engineering enthusiast, and you can see that right down into the quality of the watch. The 47mm titanium case, for example, requires 68 different stamping operations over the 3 pieces of the case, the top, the middle, and the bottom, and it takes 18 days to finish those 3 pieces, and there are 202 different machining operations completed on a 5-axis CNC machine. The dial structure itself is inspired by F1, with titanium used in the same way it's used in motorsport, to provide stiffness where it's needed and to provide flexibility where it's needed, to give Richard Mille watches that durability they've become famous for. If we turn the watch over and look at the back, you can see there's even a variable geometry rotor which can be adjusted by the manufacturer to suit your lifestyle, depending on how energetic you are. Basically, if you're pretty energetic and you move around a lot, you can have the rotor weight adjusted so it winds the movement less. Or if you're more sedentary and you sit at a desk, you can have the rotor adjusted so it winds more for less movement. That's the kind of thought they put into this movement. They've even spread the power over 2 mainsprings instead of 1 to give the 55-hour power reserve a more even torque as it winds down. But the detail goes even further than that. If you look at the bezel, at the spline screws along the edge, each screw has 8 points to give better control during the manufacturing process. The bezel itself is locked down, you can't turn it, unless you press the 2 buttons at the top and bottom of the case. And the multifaceted dial is layered with sapphire to give the appearance of various elements floating, including the date. And even that variable geometry rotor gets a good dose of the Richard Mille engineering, with white gold connecting wings, a tungsten cobalt alloy weight, and ceramic ball bearings in the mechanism. So Richard Mille have the engineering and the detailing down, but what's it like to actually wear? Well, it's a big watch, there's no hiding that, 47mm in diameter, 14.6mm thick, but it feels lightweight, and so that usually translates to comfort. And you know what, it is actually comfortable. You can see it's big, I can feel the crown on the back of my hand, and it is thick as well, but it is comfortable. The cost, however, is something else. At £88,000 for the RRP, this isn't a watch that anyone can own. A few years old, it's half of that value. That's a lot of depreciation, but I guess to the people who can afford it new, that's probably not very much at all. So despite the outrageousness of this watch, it's actually surprisingly comfortable and functional. There are details in it that you can stare at, you can take your time, and you'd always see something more every time you look at it. Like the Zonda, this is a true hyper watch, with levels of quality and finish that you could only dream of. Richard Mille changed the face of watchmaking, introduced a whole new ethos, and this watch continues that on beautifully. Is it any good at diving? I don't think we'll ever find out. Unless there's someone out there who has one of these and is happy to take it underwater, that's probably going to be something that we'll never know. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. If there are any other watches you'd like to see reviewed, let us know in the comments.